He's at it again. Donald Trump is throwing a temper tantrum this morning after a pitch-perfect day one of the Democratic National Convention. At 6:29 a.m., the Trump campaign sent the following email to its listserv. I subscribe to this listserv, so you all don't have to. Here's Donald Trump's message after day one of the DNC. The subject line is, Hillary Clinton's speech last night. Can you believe what she said? And then you open up the email and it says, Hillary spit on MAGA. Ben, Hillary slithered out of her cave to spit on MAGA. Her speech last night was a preview of Kamala's dangerously liberal plan to destroy America. This is not good. Seriously. Kamala raised millions in dark money from billionaires. Ben, I'm not worried because I have you. I'm asking you for $5 or more right now so we can catch up to Kamala's war chest. Chip in ASAP. I just want you to think about that language, though, that Donald Trump is using, saying that she slithered, that she's trying to destroy America. That would never be the type of language that you'll ever see in a Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz's email. And right here, what Donald Trump is trying to do is dehumanize the other to incite political violence. By the way, he's absolutely obsessed with Hillary Clinton, right? Yesterday, right before she spoke, the following email went down. And Trump wrote, this was the subject, Hillary Clinton is about to unleash hell. Hillary Clinton is about to declare all-out war on MAGA. She's already called you deplorable, bigoted, and racist. She's labeled you a conspiracy theorist for refusing to accept her disgusting lies. She's even called you a threat to democracy and a danger to this country, but she'll spread even more leftist propaganda when she takes the stage at the Democrat convention, and our response needs to be loud enough to drown out her hateful speech. The only hateful speech here I see is Donald Trump's language right here. Then Donald Trump writes again, Ben, Hillary Clinton hates you. Look, he is obsessed with Hillary Clinton. Ben, Hillary Clinton hates you. And then Donald Trump writes, Hillary Clinton is back to spit on MAGA. She slithered. This is a different email, by the way. She slithered out of the swamp with one goal in mind, humiliating us at the Democrat convention. And she's a perfect spokesman for Kamala's failing campaign. They're both total losers. But Ben, if we don't fire back right now, they'll unleash hell on earth together. Again, the language here, hell on earth. Slither, she's spitting on you. This is all part of Donald Trump's intent to cause political violence, to spread hate, and to divide people. And then they do this like weird cult love bombing emails. So here's the J.D. Vance email that was just sent. It goes, this is how they're saying it. President Trump and I love you, Ben. And then it goes, with your, and then you open it up. With your complete and total endorsement, we will demolish the deep state, expose the dangerous liberal agenda, make America great again, greater than ever before. Crooked Kamala is endorsed by the sick political class that hates our country, but I couldn't care less what the deep state thinks. I only need the endorsement of true American Republicans like you. It's very weird phrasing too. Then Donald Trump posted the following on his social media platform. More whining. He goes, most new jobs under Biden went to illegal immigrants. Just false. Additionally, he got what is known as COVID bounce back jobs, standard for all countries after a pandemic. He did terribly on jobs and everything else. Again, everything Donald Trump says here is false. President Biden created 16 million new jobs. Even if you don't factor in COVID, you remove Donald Trump's failure. You give Donald Trump a mulligan, right? Because why don't you give the little privileged baby a mulligan? Would we ever give any other president, I hate to even have to say that, a mulligan and be like, let's just forgive the fact that you mishandled a catastrophe and said like a miracle it was all going to away. If you took that away, President Biden's economy is far better and Trump's economy was heading into a recession before COVID anyway. Those are the facts right there. And then Donald Trump's spokesperson goes on Fox and does the rounds on right-wing media this morning and says, you know what? I felt like I was living in an alternative reality. No one at the DNC talked about the migrant crime epidemic. That's not something that exists. There's no such thing as called a migrant crime epidemic. There are no stats that show migrants commit more crimes than American citizens. And this is part of a right-wing plan to try to demonize the other and just to try to divide us. But President Biden actually did address immigration. But first, let me show you what they were saying on Fox, just so you can see for yourself. Play the clip.
And watching night one of the DNC was like watching an alternative reality. There was no mention of the migrant crime epidemic that has been allowed to transpire because of Kamala Harris's job as border czar, her open border policy. And
before showing you what President Biden said last night, let me just fact check Donald Trump spokesperson Caroline Leavitt, who you just heard, with the Republican senator from Oklahoma, James Lankford. You don't get much more conservative than the Republican senator from Oklahoma, James Lankford, who negotiated a bipartisan border deal with President Biden that President Biden agreed to, that Donald Trump destroyed on purpose. Trump had his MAGAs in Congress kill a bipartisan border deal because Donald Trump wanted there to be chaos to hurt we the people so that he could run on chaos. Just think about that. Here, play this clip.
I know you're not trying to zing your colleagues, but it's your colleagues in your party, sir, who torpedoed this, who didn't get the facts right on what you just outlined was in that measure. They killed it. Ironically, not Democrats.
Right. It was, and it was painful to be able to watch it. It got stirred up in all the presidential politics, and several of my colleagues started looking for ways. After President Trump said, don't fix anything during the presidential election, it's the single biggest issue during the election, don't resolve this, we'll resolve it next year. Quite a few of my colleagues backed up, looked for a reason to be able to shoot against it, and then walked away. I get that. That's a decision everybody makes in it. My issue is if we're pursuing everything, we very often end up with nothing. If we're pursuing someone coming later to fix it, later seems to never come. When we have a moment to fix things, we should fix as many things as we can then come back later and fix the rest.
That's on Donald Trump, Senator.
That again, he's got an office that he's running for. He's got a campaign that he's running. I'm already in office. I've got a responsibility to be able to carry on this.
Here's what President Biden said last night. Play the clip.
I never thought I'd stand before a crowd of Democrats and refer to a president as a liar so many times. No, I'm not trying to be funny. It's sad. Trump continues to lie about the border. Here's what he won't tell you. Trump killed the strongest bipartisan border deal in the history of the United States that we negotiated with the Senate Republicans. It took 4 weeks. Once it passed, and never acknowledged the most expansive border change in American history, he called senators to say, don't support the bipartisan bill, because he said it would help me politically and hurt him politically. My God. Typically Trump, once again, putting himself first and America last.
And so you can see for yourself what the real situation was there. But don't let facts get in the way of right-wing conspiracies. Then Maria Bartiromo had to have MAGA Republican Randy Weber join Fox this morning as well. And Randy Weber compared day one at the DNC and Vice President Kamala Harris's plans to the Nazis. Here, play this clip.
Your thoughts on taxes and where they go in a Harris administration?
When their policies are lousy, let me make this observation, Maria, real quick, if I can. The communists and the Nazis had the worst product history ever, but they had the best salesman. And that's what we're seeing going on here. The Biden-Harris team has the worst product. They can't talk about what their plans are. They want to blame corporations. They want to blame energy companies. They want to blame the wealthy. They want to blame somebody else. And as you point out, they're not going to give you a concrete plan for where they were. And they want to blame Trump for the border. They're not going to give you a concrete plan for what they want to do.
All right. We'll keep watching. We're waiting for that plan, sir. Thanks very much for joining us, Congressman.
Thanks, Maria.
And look, folks, let me show you what they're terrified. Take a look at this crowd at the DNC. Let's play it. And finally, one of the things that I like that these Democrats are calling MAGA Republicans out for is just their overall phoniness, how they drape themselves in religion, but do the exact opposite of what religion teaches, or just general morals or ethics, even if you remove religion, just being ethical in general. Take a look at Senator Raphael Warnock here. Play it.
And you referred to Donald Trump not only holding it for a photo op after he used law enforcement to clear a park of peaceful protesters, but also now trying to sell it and autograph it. And you didn't use the word weird, which I think is now a word that's being overused in Democratic talking points. But to me, it struck me as showing just how out of step he is, out of touch he is for the values that so many Americans have, and that should be a big part of this campaign going forward, for reinforcing that idea. Hey, he's in it for himself. He's not like us.
Absolutely. And, as a pastor, as a person of faith, I take great offense with the way in which he is weaponizing the symbols of our great country and also the symbols of the faith towards this kind of hate. And we've seen this kind of thing historically. And listen, we're the United States of America. I think there are enough decent people. We will push past this awful chapter of hate and division and Trumpism. But I have to say that the Christian church is going to have to come to terms with the fact that there is no full accounting for this phenomenon of Trumpism without reference to the church. And we got to come to terms with that. My faith is not a weapon, it's a bridge. And that's the way Dr. King used his faith. That's the way Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel used his faith, who said when he marched alongside Dr. King, he felt like his legs were praying. And I was trying to call us back to that moral tradition that evinces certain values that I think are resonant in all of the great faith traditions.
And so that's what's going on, folks. We'll keep you posted each step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.